Burr, it is colder than damn it out there tonight. Those are the words of ex-wife number 2, colder than damn it. Is the sound working now, Alan? It should be. Hello, Alan. Hello, Kim. Hello to everybody. Hey, Jane. At about 7:10, we got a very, very, very special guest tonight, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And we're going to discuss the Jewish lasers that are fired from space to start all of the wildfires out in California and Australia and everywhere else there's been a wildfire. And we're going to discuss the Jewish laser wildfires with Georgia Congressional Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. So she should be calling in about 9 minutes, and we're going to discuss it with MJT. Wow. It's cold. It is colder than outside. Hey, Paul. Paul, one of the funniest moments of my life involves Paul Hatchett. And I think I've talked about that, an outdoor wrestling show at the old place in Fort Oglethorpe called the Winner's Circle, and he was working a match with my son, Diamond Dog. Hey, don't forget, they have a brand new episode of the Scream Time podcast. I shared it last night. If you are a horror movie fan, go watch it. Chris and his buddy from Birmingham, where in England, Eddie T. They've been guests on here a couple of times, and they dissect horror movies quite like nobody you've ever seen. A sad note in the news today. Everybody knows who that is. Everybody knows Tony Bennett, who Frank Sinatra has called the best GD singer ever. Well, it was revealed today that Tony Bennett does have Alzheimer's. He's 94 years old. And yes, yeah. I don't know what I was thinking, Paul, but Tony Bennett, 94, has revealed he has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I'm going to give you 3 movies later on that I want you to watch. To it. I'm going to give you 3 movies to watch about alcoholism. And then I'm going to add one in there about Alzheimer's. Okay, so be standing by for that, okay? Because if you know someone with an alcohol problem, it's something that is unreal. Cuban. Don't ask how I got it. Hot damn, I thought cockfighting was dead and gone. But I'll be damned, Walker County, they can't bust the meth dealers, but by God, they can bust the chicken fighters. Great job, Sheriff Steve Wilson. Well, somebody dropped the dime on them, and there was a house down in Chickamauga, go figure, where they were having cockfights. And 7 people get their ass arrested for animal cruelty. More power to you. I just don't understand the concept. One thing I wanted to hit on, my sources tell me, I know Alan probably watched Royal Rumble last night. And my camera just died, so I don't know what the deal is. There's something that keeps causing it to go black, and I don't know what it is, so give me a second. There we go. Let me redo it. Maybe time to buy a new camera. There we go. There we go. Okay. I don't know if Alan watched it. I don't know if Paul watched it, but my understanding, my sources are telling me there's a little locker room heat. On the winner of the Royal Rumble. Because a lot of the guys who are there night after night after night after night are more than a little chapped that a part-timer now gets the shot at WrestleMania. Question's going to be, and I guess we'll find out tonight who he chooses. I don't know. I may actually tune it over there for a minute and watch. You got sound, folks, but I don't know about the camera. Give me a second. We are having huge camera issues tonight, and I don't know what it is. There we go again. Let me try this. There we go. May be time to buy a new camera, but I do apologize for the technical issues. One thing that I was pleased about is that Goldberg did the job for Drew McIntyre. I'm over Goldberg. I wasn't a big Goldberg. He is a legend. And you may end up with just sound tonight, folks, because I am starting to get beyond aggravated that something keeps knocking the camera offline. And I don't know what it is. There we are again. And I don't know what it is. I'm checking my connections, and it just, nothing seems to be working. I don't know. I keep looking and it's connected, but who knows? So we will see what happens with Edge and who he takes on at WrestleMania, because that's just right around the corner. Super Bowl is Sunday. I think they're going to have around 20,000 people in Raymond James Stadium. But it could be the microwave. But it's off. I don't know what the deal is. But we'll try to get it figured out between now and Thursday night. And it could be the weather. It's so damn cold. Now, this is not made. Let me grab a sip of coffee. This is not made realistically to be a political statement. But you have to question just how smart is the principal at Eastridge Middle School. Because their newsletter went out, and as everybody knows, today begins Black History Month. It is the space lasers, Tina. And it's Black History Month. And they sent the February newsletter out to all the parents and everybody else. And this is what it looked like. Now, folks, that's not a political statement. That just shows the dumbassery of what's going on at Eastridge Middle School, because in today's climate, do you really do that? We got the text message. Ladies and gentlemen, here to discuss the space lasers that she claims set all the wildfires throughout the world, Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Now witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station. Fire at will, Commander. Fire!
Das Duell ist zerstört.
There it is. There is her proof. She says space lasers from Israel have caused all the wildfires throughout the world. Thank you, Congresswoman Green. But getting back to the Eastridge Middle School thing, in this climate, you just don't do that stuff. So it's my understanding that they have now issued an apology, and maybe they can fire the principal at Eastridge Middle for just being a dumbass. You know, I'm glad you guys liked tonight's guest. I mean, you think about who's been on this show. Mitch McConnell has been on this show. And we lost camera again, so just bear with me, folks. It is this cold weather. It has got to be. And we will fix it again. Here we go. I think that's got it. Let me look at my connection. It looks like it's connected, but who the hell knows? You're right, Scott. As diverse as that school is, and here we go. We've lost it again. I don't know what we're going to have to do to fix this problem. That's a couple of weeks in a row now. We've had a couple of technical issues. But we'll get it fixed. Scott, let me ask you a question while you're watching. Will there be a Scenic City Invitational this year? That is the premier wrestling event for this area. In fact, if I am not mistaken, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, WWE superstar Matt Riddle was here just a few years back, and did he not win it? We'll see if Scott answers that question. But yeah, that wasn't real bright on the part of the principal at Eastridge Middle School. That's what I thought. And he's made a name for himself. And it's sad that independent wrestling has died in this area. If I had the money, I'd buy a ring and start a show. But in this climate, and me being so COVID phobic, COVID would have to be a thing of the past before I ever considered starting a show. So, but independent wrestling, man, one time it was big around here because you had Empire, you had UEW, which I was a part of. Of course, there's always, what is it, AWF, Paul Lee's show that he runs sporadically down in Ringgold. That's right. I thought he had already signed. Scott had signed with NXT, and he's a good guy. In fact, he worked a UEW show for us one time. So nice guy, real nice guy. UTC announced today that fans will be allowed in McKenzie Arena for basketball games. Maximum allowed will be 1,000, and everybody will be socially distanced, and you will wear a mask. But McKenzie Arena is opening up. I think they're going to be allowing fans into McClellan for wrestling and volleyball. Softball, which will kick off here in a couple of weeks, no fans in the stands for at least the month of February. And then we will see. And this is nothing on the university, but the first two home football games, February 20th and February 27th, will be played no fans at Finley Stadium, because Finley Stadium is not ready. Every year Finley is winterized, water is shut off, everything else. Water is not cut back on until March the 1st. They're not going to change that. So there will be no fans allowed for the first two Mocs home games. It's an 8-game season, 4 home, 4 on the road. They'll have 2 home games in March. They're limited fan attendance. So it's a start. It's a start. So, but if you do follow Mock Sports, I have been privileged for, here we go again. Give me a second, folks. I apologize. This is starting to really get on my nerves, but I do think it's the weather. I do believe it is the weather that's causing this issue, because you see the problems with the camera focusing and everything else. So let's see. I think we're there. Who knows? But I am basically on a leave of absence until such time as COVID is either over or I get my vaccine. And once again, the local media is screwing it up. They're not giving the story. Nobody is asking why the most vulnerable people, the people who are most likely to die from COVID, still can't get a freaking vaccine. 3, 9, 12 times free press, Chattanooga.com. Do your damn job and ask the questions, and quit being a shill for the Hamilton County Health Department. Please ask the damn questions. It gets so aggravating. I don't get it. Why they can't ask questions. Instead, we get puff pieces. Whoever the news directors are at these stations, they're doing a horrible job. Somebody needs to be asking why. Hello, Cindy Lou Sullivan. I don't know where Cindy Farmer is. I'm jonesing because there's no Cindy Farmer out there tonight. But it's just good that we're going to have fans at McKenzie Arena, and I will return hopefully when fall football season. Okay, I got a serious question. Which glasses do you prefer? Although I do not wear glasses when I'm doing this. These? or these? New specs, thanks to Eyeglass World and a very attractive optician, but I've already forgotten her name. But thank you, Kim. Those are the ones I picked out. They did a great job. And believe it or not, my eyesight has improved just a skosh. And basically nothing on the cataract front, no glaucoma. And next up, don't anybody laugh. Next up, for the old fart here, a little cosmetic surgery. Yes, cosmetic surgery. Don't know when, okay? But we're going to get a lift. We're going to get the eyelids taken care of. Going to get my eyelids did. That way but I'm going to get it done. Just don't know, but it's going to happen this year. Nothing's going to happen until COVID is over because I'm COVID phobic. So I am one lucky SOB. I mean, is what, Alan? Blasphemoplasty? But I'm just vain enough to where I want to get it done. And that'll be it. Oh God, oh my God. I don't know who's Kenny Loggins, Keith Urban. But the two front runners on bad surgery, Burt Reynolds, the late Burt Reynolds and the late Kenny Rogers. That was some bad shit. But they got. Before we get out of here, I want to recommend 3 movies. And I'm going to recommend one off the top related to Alzheimer's. And you should be able to find it. I think it is still on Netflix. It is a documentary type directed by Stacy Keach. And if you remember Vacation, Stacy Keach, who is the brother of James Keach, who is the brother of Stacy Keach. James Keach played the cop in Vacation and pulled Clark over for dragging the dog down the road. A couple of years ago, well, it was more than a couple of years ago, he did a documentary on the late, great Glenn Campbell called I'll Be Me. And it is amazing the journey that Glenn Campbell went on with Alzheimer's. You need to watch that movie. Basically, he didn't know anything until he got on stage. And he could still play and he could still remember, for the most part, remember all of his songs. Other than that, didn't really know his wife, didn't know his kids, nothing. It's a heartbreaking movie, but it shows the struggle of Alzheimer's. Are we back? Need to let me know if we're back or not. If we're back, we're back. I mean, we just totally lost everything just then, so I apologize. Again, check Netflix out. I think it's still there. It's called I'll Be Me. You can find it. Now, I want to give you 3 movies to watch that are related to alcoholism. The first one is one of my favorite movies. These are all 3 are favorites. But this one really hit close to home, and that's because I was there at one point in my life. And realistically, now this is just my humble opinion, it's the only decent movie Nicolas Cage has ever made. And he won the Academy Award for it, Best Actor, for Leaving Las Vegas. The guy loses everything. He's a screenwriter in Hollywood. He loses everything. He had started drinking, and he gradually snowballed. He loses everything: wife, kids, home, job, everything. And he goes to Las Vegas with the sole purpose of drinking himself to death within 30 days. It will rip your heart out. But it does portray just how desperate someone addicted to alcohol can get. Leaving Las Vegas co-stars Elizabeth Shue. It's got a hell of a soundtrack. Don Henley, Sting, Michael McDonald. Kim, there's a Valentine's present that hubby can get you, by the way. Totally off subject. Go to Michael McDonald's Facebook page. He is doing a Home Alone concert to celebrate his birthday this year, and it just so happens to be the same week as Valentine's Day. So that would be a really good Valentine's Day gift for hubby to get you, is to subscribe to that concert. It's just Mike by himself. And he's going to do solo hits. He's going to do hits from his time with the Doobie Brothers, and he's going to do some covers. Because I'm going to get it. But movie number 2. Let me relight this coupon. Movie number 2. It's a Billy Wilder movie from, I think, it's very early 1960s. It stars Jack Lemmon and Lee Remick. Co-stars Jack Klugman, called The Days of Wine and Roses. Billy Wilder, and directed by Blake Edwards, who was the director of the Pink Panther movies and 10 and all of that stuff. So Lemmon is already a functioning alcoholic in this movie. He meets Lee Remick, and T becomes even more addicted. Lemmon finally, after getting hospitalized, reaches out for help, gets involved in AA. That's where Jack Klugman is his sponsor. But Lee Remick, who is the mother to their child and everything else, just never gets the help. It is a movie. It's a love story, but it is also a sad story about alcoholism. So you got to Leaving Las Vegas, Days of Wine and Roses. And realistically, the last one is the first one, I think, that really dealt with the subject. It's back in the 40s. Starred Ray Milland and Jane Wyman. Lost Weekend. Milland plays a writer who his alcoholism gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And Jane Wyman, former wife of Ronald Reagan, is really, she's in love with him, but she's taking care of him. And it just tells the story. He ends up getting hospitalized. And find that movie. You can probably find it on YouTube. Turner Classic runs it from time to time. I did the Turner Classic yesterday because From Here to Eternity was on. And I never pass up an opportunity to watch that classic film. But those are three that you need to watch. Leaving Las Vegas, Days of Wine and Roses, and The Lost Weekend. Give those a shot. We're going to do more of this, movies that I like and I would recommend to you. If you've never seen From Here to Eternity, holy crap, you need to see that. Burt Lancaster, Montgomery Clift. That was another one I watched on Turner Classics just a few days ago. Montgomery Clift and John Wayne, Red River. Great movie. John Wayne could really act when he was pushed to act and not be John Wayne. But those three, and I'll give you some more down the road. A couple of quick things. One of the most respected football coaches in the area, who my understanding was he was forced out at Tyner, Wayne Turner, will be an assistant coach at East Hamilton this upcoming season. And that should be kind of interesting. Folks, you're just 2 weeks away from NASCAR. Daytona 500 is on Valentine's Day. Wow. Let's hope it's warmer than it is now, although our local weather people are going at batshit crazy. Stay bundled up. It's dangerously cold outside. So we're going to fix this camera one more time, and then we're going to get the hell out of here because this is really starting to piss me off. There we go again, one more time. And then between now and Thursday night, I'm going to hopefully have this situation rectified. Let's see, we're there, I think. Yeah, we're there. Hopefully we will have it rectified. McClintock was good. And the reason I brought up From Here to Eternity, The Quiet Man, yeah, because I am a Maureen O'Hara fan. But From Here to Eternity, most of you only know Donna Reed from the Donna Reed Show, if you're old enough to remember that old television show. Donna Reed was stunning back in the 50s. She was stunning. And so was Maureen O'Hara. She was stunning. It's Miracle on 34th Street, right? I think, where she plays Natalie Wood's mama. She is just stunningly beautiful in that movie. And that's why I still to this day say Audrey Hepburn may be the most beautiful woman that has ever walked this planet. Sue me. Throw me under the bus with the Me Too movement, but Audrey Hepburn, beautiful. So, I didn't watch the show growing up, and believe it or not, my kids who are older didn't watch it either. Saved by the Bell, but Screech, Dustin Diamond, passed away today from lung cancer. I think he was 44 years old. I'll have to reach out to an old dear friend of mine, Dennis Haskins, who played Mr. Belding, and maybe we can get him on here in the not too distant future. Folks, thanks for tuning in. I do apologize last night. There were some things that just happened that were unavoidable, and I had to get them taken care of. Hopefully we'll have these little technical issues straightened out by Thursday night. Remember this, folks, because we're seeing a rise in Facebook, motivational shit, self-help shit, where they're trying to sound like Joel Osteen. Just always remember this. Don't take criticism from someone you would never go to for advice. When people are doing those, be this kind of person, be that kind of person, I just ignore it. I'm me. And I caught some criticism last week for using the word shame. So if that person's out there watching, shame, 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 shame. Kiss my ass. Folks, thanks for tuning in tonight. I do appreciate it. Sorry I've run over just a little bit, but we will see you Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Hope you enjoyed our special guest, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And if you missed it, go back, watch the replay. I know Angie down in Florida missed it, but we will see you Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And as always, remember, be kind to each other. Good night, folks.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye.